sharing time, sharing space. So welcome to class today. I'm so happy to be sharing this time and space with you. And so we'll get going. Close your eyes, settle into a comfortable seat, wherever that is for you today. And I suggest if you cross your legs the same way all the time, maybe play around with that. Just bringing in awareness to these habitual patterns, bringing in awareness to how we habitually do things, and maybe nudging to crack open these easy patterns might allow us to crack open some bigger and harder patterns to break. So closing eyes. And before we do anything else, we take a few deep inhalations and deep releasing exhalations. You're welcome to inhale through nose and exhale through mouth and maybe sighing it out. And consciously using these deep breaths to reset, to arrive and land. Like we take off our shoes as we get onto our mat. We take off our past as we get onto our mat. We breathe it all out, all that is not part of this moment. And see if you can lengthen yourself a little taller as you breathe. Notice whether you're holding onto shoulders, relax them down. And then let your breath settle into a normal, steady flow. Let your breath do its thing and move into a space of witnessing, of observing breath. So your eyelids are soft, the space between your eyebrows is softening, your forehead. Notice your shoulder blades softening down towards hips. Feel your lower ribs softening down towards pelvis. And while your periphery is softening, is releasing, see if you can sit a little taller and continue to rise and expand with every inhalation through your center. So rising from pelvic floor or tailbone up into crown. Picture your spine growing tall, lengthening out, balancing out. So our theme today is balancing life, practicing yoga to practice balance in life. Consciously feel your crown, your head balance above your spine. Feeling yourself balance on your sit bones. Consciously breathe between these two poles of groundedness through sit bones and the expansiveness through crown. Balancing between these two poles. Balancing between the expansion of your inhalation and the surrendering, the letting go quality of your exhalation. Balancing between left sit bone and right. Maybe doing so by gently shifting side to side. Balancing, moving back and forth between mind and heart, body and being. Give yourself permission to truly arrive here and now. Notice sounds that surround you. Become deeply curious to all that is part of this moment. As much as you're curious towards the world outside, be curious as to what's alive within you right now. Curious to how your body feels from within, what emotional state you might be finding yourself in. A curiosity towards those thoughts that grab your attention, those that are most sticky today. And then breathe space around everything you perceive. Breathe space around all these elements and aspects of this moment. bring our hands, let us turn our palms up. Let us take our gaze down and gently open our eyes. Notice and have a look. Let your eyes adjust. Interlock your hands in front of you as tightly as you can. Turn your palms forwards. Pressing palms forwards, gently stretching into wrists and also stretching into fingers. So shift your palms forwards and back, and then shift your shoulders side to side. See what it feels like to maybe point your elbows down towards knees. How wide and spacious could you become in your collarbones here? How might you be able to lift one ear at a time up to ceiling, up to sky, and just lengthen the neck a little more. Checking into sit bones, we slowly rise our arms up. And up might be anywhere. It might be here in front, it might be up here. And stay with it. So there's a lengthening with every inhale, rising tall. And with every exhale, sliding shoulder blades downwards. Melting lower ribs downwards. Your sternum lifts as you inhale, your lower ribs soften down. And if you like, you lift your gaze upwards and see if you can reach your hands further back. Slide your shoulder blades further down. Relax your knees down and away. Exploring space. Take your gaze forwards again. Lengthen your neck, release your hands, grab the space above you as if you're holding a crown, and then you want to put it onto your head, but you're not allowed to bend your elbows. Find that length, really growing tall. From here we twist left, and we twist through our navel center. So today's theme is balance. What we need for balance is our center. So squeeze your navel in and up. The way I picture it is that my navel wants to hang out with my heart center, so it goes in and up. Picture that as you breathe, twisting deep, and then hands come down onto earth. Roll your shoulders down and away. Slide your shoulder blades to hips so that your chest can be wide and open, and then gently lean your head back. Gently lift your chin, lift your nose as you look back over your shoulder. And as we inhale again, we come back to center. Grab our crown, wear it tall and proud. Twisting the other way, navel up and in. Your spine as long as it can be. Your hands come down looking over your shoulders. Shoulder blades slide down, chest wide and open. Really get a sense of sitting in your most majestic, spacious, open, and at the same time humble way. And coming to center. Now, let's do this dynamically. We inhale here, we exhale to twist. We inhale here, we exhale to twist. And find your own flow. Let's do another 5 of these, balancing out. So 5 each side, in your own way. If you need to pause somewhere, or if you need to round and arch somewhere, remember there is no wrong or right. There is no good or bad. There's just you and your own authentic expression of this moment. Beautiful. Strong in our center. And I think right now we sort of leveled out, balanced out, hands onto knees. And when you're ready, you gently lift your knees up. We uncross our legs, cross them the other way, open our knees wide. If you can, shift your feet slightly forward so they're almost parallel. Drop your knees outwards, hinge onto front sit bones. Gently shift side to side, hinging forwards, folding forwards. Let your knees open up. Let your spine be wide. Let your navel dance and hang out with your heart. Chin to chest, coming up. We'll roll our shoulders back and bring our hands back onto mat. Grounding hands deeply. We undo our feet, step them onto earth, a little wider than the hips. Hands a little wider than the hips. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. And we'll lift our hips and shift them to heels. And now roll your shoulders back, widen your collarbones. Feel that stretch, that opening into upper arms, front shoulders, wrists. See if you can tuck your elbows towards one another. And then we'll shift our hips to hands or into the space between our hands, lifting navel up and in. And you're welcome to move forwards and back a few times. Gently adding weight into hands. If your sit bones need to stay on mat, they are welcome to. And maybe the hips can lift up high. Have a look down. So drop your navel inwards. Lift your front hip bones. Use your abdominals to lift your front hip bones and your thighs and your groins, and maybe head back. And breathe. Breathe yourself spacious. Slowly dropping hips back down. Crossing legs, hands onto knees. Get a sense. I love how after there was weight in hands, how light they feel, like they want to float. Maybe shifting forwards and back and side to side, opening hips. Let's inhale again and exhale, check this side. Folding forwards, opening the knees wide, finding some space into hips. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale before you roll yourself back up. Bring your knees, your feet a little closer, and then see if you can roll over your feet onto hands and knees. Align your knees with your hips, your hands with your shoulders, and then feel into spine. Make your spine as long as it possibly can be. Be really precise in your grounding. As you inhale, you arch. Lifting sit bones, lifting heart. Now bend your elbows just a little and tuck your elbows into hips. And then see if you can straighten them again, keeping this alignment so the inside elbows are facing forwards. And then from here we arch and we round. We point our tailbone. How high can you lift your navel? See if you can make your lower ribs and front hip bones touch and squeeze and squeeze and touch and really turn on your center. And on our next inhalation we arch. And we'll do 5 more in our own pace. If you want to shift your weight forwards and back, or side to side, make it yours. Allow your body to guide you. Do what helps you to land here and now more and more deeply. Reaching and lengthening. And then once we're done with those 5 rounds, whenever you're done, find your way into plank. So you might need to shift your hands slightly forwards, shoulders above hands, and tap back into your core connection. So your back pelvis reaches down, your legs are strong, your navel is strong. Look forward, breathe into navel center, widen your shoulder blades apart and push earth away. And notice that this is as challenging as you make it to be. If you sit here, if you're here and you think, oh my goodness, your body's going to say the same thing. But if you find a bit of space here, if you just sort of, it's not so bad. The other day I said, focus on what's magical this moment, not on what's challenging. So maybe there's a ray of sun on your mat. Maybe there's a bit of spaciousness in your breath. Find that. Find that. And exhale it back into down dog. Welcome to adjust your feet. And gently shift. Landing in down dog. Our first down dog, I find it's always an invitation to sort of soften and release, to find into it. The hamstrings might be tight. The chest and shoulders might be tight. How about we come onto knees for a moment. Knees hip wide, point your toes back. Keep your hips above your knees. And let's walk our hands forward. And let our chest and our shoulders soften. Point your elbows down to earth. Keep your hands flat and fingers spread wide. Slide your shoulder blades outwards and away from one another. Maybe your forehead on earth. Maybe your mouth or your chin. And then soften your armpits down to mat. Have the intention of resting your sternum onto earth. And then check into feet. Are you holding tension there? Can you relax your feet? Can you wiggle your toes and relax your shins? And maybe lift your sit bones a little higher and use your breath to soften into this pose. Soften into upper back, into arms, upper arms, into neck. And another big inhale here.
And as you exhale, you slide yourself down to heels. So coming into child's pose. Bring your hands around and palms alongside the feet, palms facing up. Swaying left and right, right and left. When you're ready, chin to chest, roll yourself up to sit on heels. We'll come onto our knees. Or maybe put up our hands. We'll point our tailbone down. Beautiful. Tailbone down, roll your shoulders back, open your heart. Tailbone down. Squeeze it, knape it. Lift your front hip bones up, lift your navel up and in. Connecting heart and navel. And then hands come onto thighs and we'll just press our thighs gently forwards. Press your feet into mat. And continue to lift through your pelvic floor. Elbows want to touch behind you. If you want to bring your head back, you're welcome to. If you want to keep your chin forwards, that's great. Focus on your center and reach a little further. And reach a little further. We'll take another breath here and find our way onto hands and knees. Hands and knees releasing, circling pelvis, circling shoulders, circling through our center, exploring the connectedness of rib cage and pelvis. We'll bring our feet out one way and come to sit. We'll step our feet forwards, move our sit bones closer to heels, and reach our arms forwards and up. Open your chest wide. And then roll yourself down. So squeezing from your center, you point your tailbone away, and you trickle one vertebra at a time down onto earth. Your head comes down, stretch your arms up and over, reach them out. Inhale here, and then chin to chest, coming up again. One vertebra at a time. Continue to breathe. On every exhalation, really squeeze into center and come up. If you need to grab your thighs, you're welcome to. And we'll do 5 more of these. Switching on our core. If you want to keep your fingers on your navel center, you can even do that. It's as if you're tying your belly button, the inside, as if you're tying it to spine. Switching on our center. And this might be really difficult. Notice that and embrace it. Be okay with it. It might be really easy, and then see if you can add on to make it harder for you. As you come up, sit really tall. Lift really tall. Okay, let's all do one more. And as we come up, we cross our legs, we roll over our feet, we find our hands, we find our plank, and plank becomes down dog. Beautiful. And let's see how down dog might feel different now after we've done a little more core preparation. Lift one heel at a time. Shake your head no and nod your head yes, and take your gaze down to mat. Open your armpits towards feet. See if you can almost arch your lower back. So instead of rounding, pointing tailbone down, you poke your sit bones up. You really lift your sit bones high. If you want to look forwards, even that opens the heart a little more. And then we'll ground into left leg and reach our right leg up. Left heel drops as low as it can, and right heel lifts as high as it can. Looking down to mat, neck in line with spine, and continue to reach your heels apart. Reach, 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 reach. Let's bring our right leg down. See what the other leg feels like. Right foot grounds, right heel drops as low as it can for you. Left heel rises as high as it can. Can you create a long line from fingertips through spine all the way into left heel? And maybe rise it up a little higher. And left leg comes down. Right leg rises. And in slow motion, we shift our weight forward. We round our body. We round our spine. We draw our knee into chest. have as much space between body and earth as we possibly can, and find our right foot between our hands. Lifting our gaze, drop your left heel, hands onto knee, slowly lift yourself up. Let's start with our back knee bend. Place it onto earth. Now lift your front hip bones up, point your tailbone down and forwards. Strong back tilt in your pelvis. Feeling it here, I'm assuming, I do. Lengthen up, reaching arms up, grab your crown. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to soften shoulders down, and then we'll come up. As you come up, you shift your left heel back, you shift your front knee further forwards, you open out wide, and we turn our palms forwards, open our chest. Gently dropping elbows and reaching hands back. Open your torso. Navel up and in. Tailbone down, hips parallel to front. And now let's take that. Hinging forwards, finding our right foot, arms out to the sides, and take flight. So hands to the sides, chest wide and open. Continue to look forwards, lifting left leg up, reaching up, and stepping it back. Slow and mindfully, so we're not rushing, we're feeling each bit of movement. We come forwards again, hands resting on pillars of space. Imagine that, hands resting, coming forwards. Sensing and noticing, and then once you're ready, unfolding a little deeper into this aeroplane shape. And let's step it back. And notice how your body shifts and moves. Reaching up. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. Reaching forwards, arms out to the sides, taking flight, leaning forwards, lifting off, and expanding outwards. If you like, maybe the chest comes down. Maybe the fingertips come onto mat as you lift your left leg a little higher. Maybe we don't need the fingertips on the mat and we can just lift them or grab the ankle. Let's inhale here, and as we exhale, we draw our left knee into chest. Right knee bends as well. Can you see this? It's like a rounded shape. You point your tailbone forwards, you round your body forwards. Right leg's probably shouting, that's okay. We take an inhale here, and as we exhale, we shoot the left leg up again, up towards sky. Draw your right kneecap up. Now find back into aeroplane shape. Whew. Unfold yourself. Step it back. Find your lunge warrior. Amazing. And open into warrior two. So you just roll your back heel down. Keep your front knee above heel. Lift your shoulders up and down, up and down. Let them drop. So your torso kind of becomes shorter and your legs become longer. Maybe right thigh today parallel to earth. Sit into it, torso connected. Remember, ribs and pelvis, strong connection. And then expand your arms outwards, fierce and focused, looking forwards. And let's stay here with our legs as they are, just gently leaning back. Left hand drops, right hand, the front hand rises. Now you deepen your legs, lifting navel and lengthen through your center all the way into fingertips, maybe looking up. Another inhale here and coming to center. Reaching forwards for a moment. Left hand drops onto leg, so our torso aligns with leg. Our right arm to inner knee or elbow onto knee, you decide. Maybe the right arm wants to go up in line with ear. Yes, press your right knee back, sink a little deeper, sink a little deeper. One more big breath and up into warrior two. Warrior two becomes lunge warrior, reaching it up high, arms out to the sides, spread your wings, spread your fingers, slide your shoulder blades down, chest wide and open. See if our right right leg can handle one more aeroplane shape, one more expansion, and we step it down. Whew. Inhale here. Let's slowly exhale our hands onto earth. And not missing out on a single bit of breath, not missing out on a single bit of present moment. Hands come down, foot slides back into three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale here, and the leg steps down. Lifting the opposite leg up high, left leg rises. Beautiful. And in slow motion, rounding yourself, coming onto right toes, left knee comes into chest, round yourself forwards, rounding forward. See the space between your hands. Deep, deep, deep in your navel center, and the foot finds the space between your hands. Ground yourself, knee above heel, lift your gaze, and then rise it up into lunge warrior. As we come up, we bend our back knee down onto earth. We bring our hands onto front knee. If you like, hands onto hips. So right hip forwards, left hip back. Tailbone points down. Navel lifts up. So front hips lift up. And I feel this stretch all the way down into my right knee. So the whole front of your right leg stretches out, especially with the back toes tucked. So be with that, stay with that, soften there, and when you're ready, arms come up, grab your crown so your shoulders slide, you're your most majestic shape, coming up. And then the back heel drops down, the front knee shifts forward. Maybe you can lift your front hips a little higher, point your tailbone a little deeper down. And another inhale here, as you exhale, we hinge forwards. Arms come out to the sides. Find your feet, trust your left leg, expand and unfold. Notice that your aeroplane truly unfolds from your center. So there's a lot of strength here, and then it unfolds into the periphery. Take your gaze forwards, focus on what's light and spacious. Bending left knee, stepping right foot back. Beautiful. Make it a bit of a celebration before we hinge forwards again. Notice and truly feel your hands, your arms in space. Use the space that surrounds you to expand and unfold. Use your breath as this inner spaciousness. Imagine breathing space, coming back, rising up. Well done. One more, hey? Reaching forwards, lifting up. Maybe hands onto knee for support. Maybe the hands come onto earth as our chest drops. Maybe hands come onto ankle as our chest drops. Play here. Maybe the right toes can tickle the ceiling. Find your center, the strength there, and then the softness in the periphery. Inhale here. Exhale, draw your right knee into chest. Bend your left knee slightly. Make your back body as long as it can be. Tailbone forwards, chin forwards, rounding. Charge yourself up with core energy. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you hollow out your navel and reach your right leg higher than you ever have. From here, can we come back into aeroplane? Whew. From here, we step it back into a mini little celebration, a mini little, yay, wow, I can do this, this is amazing. And we open this into warrior two. I'll turn around. So back heel down, and I invite you to bring your arms down for a moment. Hands kind of automatically drop to inner thighs, open them up, navel up and in, and your tailbone is long, and check your shoulders again, lift them up and drop them down. So your torso is really contracted, strong, deep connection between hip bones and lower ribs, back hips and lower ribs, and then open your arms out to the sides from here. See your collarbones coming to be parallel to the mat. See your arms parallel. Press your hands down. And then from here, reaching backwards. Keep your legs as they are. So you're reaching from your center, right hand slides down, left hand is an expression of the length through your center, open wide. Visit each pose with curiosity, an open wide heart. Coming to center, let's just keep our right hand here as we move. And we find our torso in alignment with our back leg, as if we were standing on that foot. And the elbow might come here. See if you can bring your thigh parallel to earth. Notice where you're at. Maybe arm in line with ear. Whew. Maybe both arms in line with ears. Sit deeper into front leg. Beautiful. Coming up, warrior two. Looking forwards, sway your right hand past your hip, roll onto right toes into lunge warrior. And we'll check again, we'll hinge forward. Our arms, our fingers become our wings. We trust our center. We expand outwards. We step it forwards one more time into our most expansive, let's call it an eagle. Expand it out, step it back. Whew. Inhale here, and with your exhalation, slowly moving. Feel the wind, feel the space between your fingers. Feel your body move through space. Ground your hands. Feel your hands become feet. Shift your leg back and up. Inhale, reach a little higher. And let's exhale the foot down. Let's bring the knees down onto mat, but nice and wide, even wider than the mat maybe. Bring your big toes to touch or slightly apart. Shift and sway, externally rotate your thighs, and then let your torso drop into the space between your knees. Forehead might be on hands or chin and chest on earth. And make it your challenge to really drop into gravity, dropping into earth, dropping into this moment. Let this moment hold you. Notice your heartbeat, notice your breath. Come back to being fully here. And then slowly lift yourself up. Walk your hands in. See if you can sit in between your heels. If that's not an option, be on hands and knees, sitting high and tall. Unfold yourself from within. And we'll bring our fingertips forwards, tuck our toes under to come into squat. So whichever squat is comfortable for you. Gently make some space, fingertips maybe in front of you on the mat. Lift one heel at a time. Roll weight around your ankles. Really notice, how could you unfold your spine to be longer, more spacious? And then we bring our hands onto earth. Spread our fingers wide. Look at our hands as if they're the best feet we've ever had. We'll gently tuck our elbows in, point them to front hip bones. And now see, you can place your knees, you can squeeze them onto the upper arms. You can place your knees on your upper arms, in your armpits. So start wherever. Have a look forwards. Remember, in our headstands, we picture this triangle on the mat. We do the same now, but instead of placing our head, we place our gaze there to give us stability. Make sure you deepen through your navel. That's the key to balance, and then play around. Notice, where can I place my knees? Might I be able to lift one foot today or two? Hold your focus, gaze on that spot on the mat. Maybe coming out, you might want to try a different position for your knees. Some people can just come up into handstand or headstand from here. You're more than welcome to play with that. Let your world be upside down. And notice how comfortable and familiar you are with it, or how uncomfortable. And continue to play a little. Continue to play. Well done. We'll come back into squat. So coming out of your handstand or headstand. I can't see most of you, so I'm just giving you a moment. And then we'll come to seated. Just drop yourself back. Stretch your legs forwards. Stretching the legs forwards. Move the flesh back and away from your sit bones. Lengthen through the back legs. And if you want to stroke along your back legs, maybe towards heels, see if you can shift your heels a little further away. The feet as if you were standing against the wall. Shoulders roll back, sit up tall. Some of us might need our hands here alongside ourselves. Some of us might feel a nice little challenge if you bring your hands out to the sides and then grab your elbow behind. Well, you know what? Let's all start here. Now rest your arms on your lower back and notice how this opens the chest. So sliding elbows down, let your collarbones widen and expand. Stay strong and grounded in your legs. And you might stay here or you might be able to hinge forwards. And if you like, you release your elbows and give yourself permission to hinge a little deeper. Your hands land wherever they want. It's not about reaching the feet. So it's not about rounding spine to reach the feet. I would love you to tilt forwards from the pelvis. And then if there is that space in your body that allows you to grab your feet, that's fine. But if this is where you land, truly hinging from the pelvis, rather stay there. Or if this is where you are hinging from the pelvis, that's great. It's about your own edge. And I invite you to stay here for another really conscious 3 breaths. So inhaling for spaciousness, exhale for depth, going deeper into the pose. Draw your back knees down to earth. Inhale to expand a little more and exhale to deepen even further into this forward fold. Sealing in our practice, one more big inhale for length and exhale again, softening forward. We bring our chin to chest, roll ourselves up to sit. Place our fingertips alongside our hips and shift our hips to heels. We reach our arms forwards. And we'll find our way into Shavasana. So if you need something warm, if your body needs something else this moment, you're welcome to go there. Roll yourself down. Consciously feel your spine, your back body soften and unfold into earth. Feel your head rest down onto earth. Bring your fingertips to head and just gently lift it to make your neck longer. And rest your head down. Bring your hands onto hip bones, and as you stretch out your legs, keep that deep navel connection. Keep that connection between lower ribs and hip bones. If you'd like to keep your hands here, keep them there or open them out to the sides. Close your eyes. A couple more shifts, and then consciously find stillness. Be still. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice the sensations, the leftovers of our class, of the movement. Notice energies flowing throughout your body. Breathe yourself spacious. Give yourself permission to surrender into earth, into mat. Give yourself permission to let go, to soften out. With your eyes closed, turn your inner gaze up to the space between your eyebrows and rest it there. Witness breath breathing you.
witness this flow, this dance of space that surrounds you, becoming your inner space. And then that constant exchange through breath. Let this moment hold you. Consciously aware of gravity, of your deep connection to earth. Give yourself permission to let go of everything you think you know. Open up, soften up. Give yourself permission to let each moment surprise you. To be surprised by yourself. To encounter this week ahead, the rest of this day with awe and wonder. Acknowledging and remembering that the you, the person you are, has never been here before. The people you encounter are not the people you know. They've grown and changed and evolved since last time you met them. Each situation you encounter is brand new. And remember that. And encounter what comes your way with curiosity and openness, with creativity and spontaneity. Grounded in your center, in your heart, in your navel, in your personal power, which allows you to be soft outwards towards your periphery. And let's seal that in with a couple of deep inhalations and deep exhalations. Washing, cleansing breath that moves through your body from head to toes, from side to side. And when you're ready, roll over onto right hand side. Draw your knees up towards you. Maybe wrap your arms around you, giving yourself a big squeeze and a hug. And when you feel ready, come back up to seated. Find your sit bones. Cross your legs. Let your body stack itself up into its most spacious, balanced, focused self. Let your hands rest where they need to rest. Come up, your eyes still closed. Let's bring our hands together. Consciously feel the palms, the inner fingers meet. Bring our thumbs onto forehead, softening forehead. As we inhale, we lift and reach and rise. And as we exhale, we bow, dropping thumbs onto heart. Bowing the knowledge of our minds to the wisdom of our hearts. Bowing to our center. Thanking ourselves and thanking one another. Slowly lift your gaze, open your eyes when you're ready. And I thank you all for showing up, for joining. Thank you everyone for making it onto your